Okay, so I've read through your essay and I'm going to give you some feedback now. Remember, if you don't understand anything, you can always stop and back up and listen again. I'm going to go through things in yellow that need some attention. And we're going to start here with your introduction. I was very confused as I read the first few sentences what you were actually writing your paper about. Um, Especially when another story when people know more about the real situation. I was like, well, what is the story? What is the situation that we think is real but we don't know? um, I don't know, this almost feels like this was taken from a different article, and I don't think that it is really relevant to the main idea of your essay, because you mentioned Walmart and sex discrimination, and then really nothing else comes back to the Walmart. To be honest, I think that you could ditch this whole beginning and you get an introduction that speaks more clearly to the issues that women face in the workplace and society. So maybe if you started here, um, with the rapid development of economy and technology, I think you would be in a better place to begin your essay, especially considering that you have over a whole page for your introduction. Okay, so moving on. Breaks the situation, did not understand that expression, so you need to fix that, make it clearer, change the language. And this is confusing. Are you saying that women have only stayed home and brought up the children since World War One? I'm kind of thinking that might have a lot longer history than, 100 years. And this idea, if women as new forces have appeared on the global stage for many years, why are you saying that they are new forces? This language doesn't feel very authentic, and I don't think it improves the quality of your paper to say that. So, if I look at your thesis, even though many people call for the equal rights of women, there's little progress and women bear much pressure. Okay. Here, I can see that you tried to get noun, 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 but it's a little bit funky with having traditional common opinion, psychological difference, and discrimination. Um, I would try playing with the language of this a little bit more and seeing if maybe you could have adjective, noun, adjective, noun, adjective, noun. I think that might be a more successful pairing for you. Okay, here, it's widely acknowledged that women should stay at home. Who is it widely acknowledged by? And it is widely, like now? Maybe you mean it used to be in the past? Because then you start talking about Shakespeare, who lived in the 1600s. That's like quite a long time ago. So this quote from him, by the way, the quote should not start here. It needs to start here. And your quote does not need to be in italics, and you don't need a a footnote here. Again, that's not the style that I've asked you to do for this class. So, you mentioned that Shakespeare thinks women are frail. Okay, so you go to the idea that the low status of women at that time, correct. So I don't know how you're saying it is widely acknowledged now, but then the rest of this is about the past. I think you need to change the time of that to the past. Okay, good, good, good. But I didn't understand this idea. Some women even feel they are born to compel with the men. Have no idea what you're trying to say there. Got to work with that. Engels, I think you need to be more specific about who this person is. Are you talking about the philosopher? I don't know. Are you trying to use this as a quote? Help me out here with this, okay? Here, you never want to start a paragraph with besides. And really, to be honest, besides is not that great for formal academic writing. I would use additionally or furthermore. Any of those would be good choices, not besides. Okay, also here you need a period to separate those sentences. So here, instead of saying according to research which was written by blah blah blah, just say according to Eisenberg and Lenin. Yes? Just the last names, I don't need their initials. Comma, not the year here. You're going to put it here, after the title. So, blah, 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 in the Psychological Bulletin. Nope, quotes here. I don't know. Is this where your quote starts, or is it here? Also, why is this in italics? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's unclear for your reader what the quote is here. Also, drop the footnotes. Okay. Women are not even accepted for that. Do you mean because here? That's a little bit confusing language. So women are not even accepted because they are less rational than men, especially in computer and mathematics. I have to disagree with this idea. I do not think that that is proven by research. Absolutely not. So you need to work with this quote that weakens your argument to say that. Maybe some men think that, sure, but I don't think there's any research that actually shows that that's the truth. If there is, you should put it in there for sure. Okay, so here you're trying to talk about there are some psychological and physical differences. Okay, so this is your psychological differences. Here's your physical differences. But actually what you're mentioning is not physical differences. You're talking about discrimination. You're not saying that it's the physical differences that cause women trouble with giving birth and having maternity leave. It's that they don't get to keep their jobs. So that's not really a physical thing. It's that there's discrimination. I would change this topic sentence and make it clear that you're talking about kinds of discrimination based on emotions and yeah, I guess you could talk about biology with birth, but really it's not that you're really describing that women differ from men physically. It's you're describing that women are treated different. Okay. This does not feel like you're writing. The spurious gender wage gap. In all my life, I've never seen an ESL student use the word spurious. Make sure you're not taking vocabulary like that and throwing it in your paper if you're not, especially if you're not sure about how to use it correctly. Okay. Again, I don't want this web address. You're just going to say President Obama gave a speech in 2014 for the State of the Union where he said that, quote, end quote, no italics, no italics. This should not be highlighted, but I was unable to unhighlight it. So this, ignore, there's no problems here, okay? So here you get into your counter argument, which is that many people argue that men suffer more than women. Why do they think that? Why is that ridiculous? It's okay if you say that, but before you call it ridiculous, you need to explain the idea further than one sentence, okay? Your counter argument should be at least 2 or 3 sentences. Then you can give your rebuttal. Okay? Now, instead of saying the word now for your conclusion, I would say women still suffer. Not that they suffer now and they didn't in the past, but they continue to suffer. this sentence is a good sentence, but it needs to be here. Then you can say, thus, women need more energy and time to solve these tough problems. Okay? So overall, you have some good things, but in particular, I would like you to work on this paragraph. It just has a lot of unclear main ideas, main points. All right? And then if you have questions about anything, just let me know.